Hello everyone! The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. So before we get too deep into this, Joe, would you recommend this film?
So I will. I have a few issues and complaints about it, but overall, I do think that this is a lot of fun. I think it's a good extension of the short. And, honestly, if we do get sequels, I would happily watch them.
I would too. And yes, I would also recommend this. I really liked, but did not love this movie. I don't think I'm quite as high on it as everyone else is, and I think you and I are going to be more similar than I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to love this, so I'm a little surprised.
No, and again, it's just minor gripes, but I will say I do think the third act is the weakest part of this film.
Yeah.
I think the screenplay could have used another once-over, but
yeah.
The gore is fantastic. The kills are good. I think Eli Roth directs the fuck out of this movie.
Sure. Yeah.
But overall, super fun time that I will absolutely add to my, I don't have a Thanksgiving rotation of horror movies, but if I had one, this would be part of it.
I feel like we're actually getting up there in terms of either tangential Thanksgiving horror films or explicitly horror.
Well, we have to do a lot of tangential because forever it was just Blood Rage, and now we have this.
Yeah. I think people can tell us a couple other picks in the show notes.
Well, by tangential, they're set on or around Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving isn't really a major factor in the plot or scenery.
I see. Yes. Okay.
Whereas, this is screaming Thanksgiving,
It's literally right there in the title.
It's in the title.
Okay, so why don't we talk about this film? Because we're not just doing flashbacks to the greatest hits from the trailer, but we're also paying quite a few homages to other classic horror films.
Yes. As a whole, this is more indebted to the post-Scream slashers of the late 90s and early 2000s than the actual, 70s grindhousey films that the trailer was made of, which...
Right.
Was a huge surprise for me. I did, the whole time I was watching this, I was I feel like I'm watching, a new urban legend.
Yeah, and I actually think that that's a good comparison. I put, My Bloody Valentine, but not the 80s one, the new one. This is very much almost a remake era slasher film, because it's weird. I've seen a bunch of people saying, oh, it feels like a post-Scream film, and I think I even messaged that to you, but I don't mean in the, meta self-aware kind of vibe, but in the, we're kicking it old school, but we're not trying to look like an 80s slasher film.
Well, that's the interesting thing about all of those post-Scream slashers, though. I know you did last summer, Valentine, Urban Legends 1 and 2, whatever. They all, their success, or they were made because of Scream's success, but they feel very much more like an 80s slasher just with a 90s aesthetic slapped onto them. And so, yes, I agree with you on that. This movie... It has jokes. It is funny, although I do think it takes itself seriously, but not too seriously.
Yeah, because some of the deaths are so fucking ridiculous that you're like, well, this is Eli Roth taking the piss.
Joe, when that dad got hit the pole through his face in the truck, and then the blood was just spraying on his daughters, I died.
You cackle. Yeah, you have to.
Atlas Avenue. A long stretch of road that encompasses everything the city of Kennett Heights has to offer. Neon lights, traffic, crime, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the craziest of characters. My office was above it all. My name is James Locke, and I'm a PI.
Hello, Mr. J. How the hell you doing today?
Good, Edith. Nearly every year I have a new case. New people to meet, new clues to discover, and new problems to solve. But I do it the old-fashioned way. No technology. Nothing post-1950. Hell, I don't even listen to podcasts, but you should. Atlas Avenue Beat is a spoof of the film noir genre with goofy characters, tons of wordplay, and non-stop raunchy humor. There's also 3 whole seasons out right now with more on the way. Just search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts or visit us online at bloody.fm.